Hello everyone, and welcome to the Why Does My Horse podcast series. My name is Vigita, and I've been working with horses for over 25 years now. I also have a degree in psychology and a number of qualifications in equine behaviour and a never-ending love of learning more about the science behind horse behaviour. This podcast is aimed at answering some common questions you might have about your beloved horse child, using science and experience as our guide. So, all of that aside, let's get into it. Have you ever watched your horse swivel his enormous ears around and around as he tries to figure out where a sound is coming from? They look a bit like satellite dishes, searching for signs of intelligent life, which is exactly what they are doing in their own sort of way. Although they hear differently from us, horses have some pretty amazing skills when it comes to sound detection. Today, we're going to look at some of the highlights of our equine friends' auditory capabilities, and they are pretty impressive. We all know that we can voice train our horses by associating certain words with rewards to reinforce the behavior we want. We try to make sure our horses have a basic vocabulary down, understanding words like walk on, whoa, and back. We also know our horses can associate sounds with things they like or dislike, such as the food bucket on the one hand, or the arrival of the trailer on the other. They become used to sounds they hear all the time, which is why a horse living next to the railway tracks won't blink an eye when a train comes past, but becomes very worried when a bicycle comes squeaking up behind him. Horses are not very vocal in general, but they are excellent at interpreting the whinnies, nickers, snorts and squeals that their herd mates produce. A horse can know immediately who's calling, what mood he's in, and what he wants. Mares have a soft, deep whinny that they use to communicate with their foals, and the little ones instinctively know who it is. And they don't stop their interpretation skills there. Horses can size us up pretty quickly by our own vocal noises, figuring out what mood we're in, what emotions we're feeling, and what our intentions are. Amazingly enough, research has suggested that horses can perceive and appreciate music. Neurologically, that's an incredible feat. They have been found to relax to soothing lyrical music that doesn't have large changes in volume. According to this, they, quote, prefer Mozart to Beethoven, soft rock over techno, and country or folk more than heavy metal, unquote. This is insanely cool when you think about it. Plus, it gives you a great excuse to play some music at the barn while you spend time with your horse child. It's a win for everyone. Horses have pretty sensitive hearing and can hear sounds of about 7 decibels. That is the sound of a person breathing quietly. That is pretty darn impressive. Although technically humans are better at hearing soft noises than horses, but this very much depends on how much of your hearing survived your teen years of teenaged angst and loud music. When we speak to our horses, they can hear us just fine, but it's probably a bit softer than we actually intended. When it comes to detecting pitch, horses beat us with 3 hooves behind their back. Pitch refers to the frequency of the tone that we are hearing, ranging from sopranos to low bass. Horses hear pitches very similar to our own, which might sound disappointing, but they have 2 aces up their sleeves. Firstly, they can hear ultrasonic sounds, which we don't get close to hearing. Your horse can hear the bats navigating in the night, your silent dog whistle, and that silent mosquito repellent you took to the barn. Secondly, they can feel low vibrations through their teeth and jaw bones, which is mind-blowing. Their hooves cause vibrations, which they pick up and interpret, much the same way we hear a car approaching. Horses notice the smallest noises that we tend to ignore or are just not tuned in to hearing. We tend to be bogged down in internal dialogue, while horses are in touch with everything happening in real time around them. Sometimes a horse will stop what he is doing and swivel his incredible satellite ears in every direction to pick up the most amount of sound he can. This is like us turning down the radio when we're lost in the car. He has to focus. He stops eating so he doesn't have to hear himself chew, and he stops moving his feet so he can pick up on low tones we might not be aware of. Despite having incredibly good hearing, his ability to accurately pinpoint where sound is coming from is not that great. We can pick up where a noise is coming from within 1 degree of accuracy, which is incredible. Our horse's accuracy is within 22 to 33 degrees, which is very general compared to us. But to the horse, it doesn't really matter because he's picking up more information than we are. And honestly, if there is a bear in the bushes, he doesn't need to know exactly where it is. He just has to know it's there and that he needs to get the hell out of there. Next time your noble steed slams on brakes while you're out on a trail and starts to strain his ears in every direction, take a moment to see if you can hear what he hears. If you really can't, you can rest assured that your horse knows exactly what he's about, and whatever he is picking up must be fascinating. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new about our incredible equine friends. I feel like it's compulsory to add that it would be great if you could like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're also available on Apple Podcast as well as Podcast for Spotify. See you next time.